This brother, Jokic, I mean, just a big tub of lard, just shoving people around. No six pack, and ain't still built or anything like that. He's just big and strong. Waddle. He don't even walk. He waddles and stuff. You just look at him, and you can't stop him.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
When Nikola Jokic entered the league, the NBA breathed a sigh of relief. A slow, unathletic second-round pick who couldn't jump over a phone book? Sure, he had skill, but skill has limits. Athleticism wins in the playoffs. And this guy, he had a ceiling. That's what they told themselves. Turns out, that ceiling never existed. Because Jokic isn't just dominating the league, he's evolving, getting more efficient, more unguardable, more impossible to scheme against. And a player with his skill set who keeps getting better, that's the NBA's worst-case scenario. But to understand why he's become the league's nightmare, you have to understand why they thought they were safe in the first place. The 2014 NBA draft came and went. 40 names called before his. 40 players deemed more valuable than a chubby Serbian kid who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Pick 41, second round. The projection? Solid backup. Maybe a few years in Europe first. The kind of player you stash overseas and forget about until you need a warm body in the front court. And honestly, the scouting report made sense. No explosiveness, no vertical. Couldn't guard a fire hydrant in space. The physical profile screamed limited in bold letters. This was a player who would get hunted on every single defensive possession. A liability waiting to be exposed. His early career did nothing to change that narrative. Spot minutes off the bench. A nice touch around the rim. Good passing for a big. Nothing special. Nothing that suggested the league needed to worry. Then came the flashes. A triple-double here. A ridiculous assist there. Sequences where he'd dissect a defense so cleanly it looked like he was playing a different sport. But every time, the analysts had an explanation ready. He's good for what he is. That qualifier followed him everywhere. Good passer for a center. Good scorer for someone that slow. Good player for where he was drafted. Always the asterisk. Always the ceiling implied. The assumption was simple. In the playoffs, when the game speeds up and elite defenses lock in, athleticism wins. It always does. And Jokic? He didn't have it. Couldn't create separation. Couldn't blow by anyone. Couldn't protect the rim. When it mattered most, his limitations would be exposed. So the league started searching for the formula. Speed him up. Force him into uncomfortable decisions. Make him defend in space against quicker guards. Attack him in the pick and roll until his legs gave out. Target his conditioning. He looks out of shape. Surely he'll tire in a 7-game series, right? Teams watched the tape, studied his tendencies, built game plans specifically designed to neutralize his strengths and exploit his weaknesses. The blueprint was coming together. Double him in the post and take away his passing lanes. Force him into tough fadeaways, switch everything and dare him to beat you one-on-one. Make him work on defense until he has nothing left for offense. It all made sense on paper. The belief was universal. There's an answer. We just have to find it. Because players like Jokic don't win championships. They put up nice regular season numbers, maybe grab an all-star appearance or two, and then disappear when the lights get brightest. That's how this story always ends. And for a while, it seemed like the league had a point. Jokic was great, but great has limits. Great can be schemed against. Great eventually runs into a wall called playoff basketball. What nobody accounted for was that Jokic wasn't trying to be great. He was becoming something else entirely. Then the 2020-21 season happened, and everything changed. Nikola Jokic won MVP. The slow, unathletic second-round pick was now officially the best player in the league. But here's the thing. It wasn't close. He averaged a near triple-double while leading the Nuggets to the 3rd seed. His assist numbers rivaled point guards. His efficiency broke every model analysts had built. And the craziest part? He did it all without a single explosive moment. No poster dunks. No chase down blocks. Just pure, surgical basketball that left defenses scrambling. The next year, he did it again. Back-to-back MVPs. First center to accomplish that since the merger. He wasn't just winning awards anymore. He was redefining what an MVP looks like, proving you don't need to be the most athletic player on the court. You just need to be the smartest, the most skilled, the most impossible to prepare for. Still, the doubters clung to their last argument. Regular season dominance is one thing. Playoffs are different. When the intensity rises, when every possession is a war, athleticism wins. It always does. Then came 2023. The Nuggets rolled through the Western Conference like it was a formality. Jokic dismantled the Timberwolves. He carved up the Suns. He outplayed every defender thrown at him against the Lakers. And when Denver reached the finals against Miami, a team built on toughness, physicality, and defensive grit, the kind of team that was supposed to expose his limitations, Jokic delivered the most complete performance the finals had seen in years. He averaged 30 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, on absurd efficiency, while being the primary focus of every defensive scheme Miami could conjure. He didn't just win the championship, he made it look effortless. Finals MVP. The coronation was complete. No more excuses. No more wait until the playoffs. No more qualifiers. Jokic had proven it at the highest level, against the best competition when everything was on the line. So the league adjusted. Again, more aggressive doubles, more physical play, more complex schemes designed specifically to slow him down. Front offices studied the finals tape frame by frame. Defensive coordinators built entire game plans around one question: how do we stop Nikola Jokic? The expectation was simple. Now that we've seen the blueprint, we can counter it. The reality? He got better, more efficient, more patient, more controlled. Every adjustment the league made, Jokic absorbed it, processed it, and turned it into another weapon. Double him earlier, he finds the open man faster. Play him more physically, he draws more fouls. Switch everything, he hunts the mismatch every single time. The tactical problem had officially emerged, and no one had an answer. So the league threw everything at him. They doubled, they trapped, they switched, they zoned. And Jokic, he just smiled, because every adjustment they made, he'd already solved 3 moves ago. And this season, he stopped holding back. Let's talk numbers. Because what Jokic is doing right now doesn't just look dominant. It looks historically impossible. He's shooting over 68% from the field, on high volume. That would be the highest mark ever for any player averaging at least 10 shots per game. Higher than Wilt. Higher than anyone in the history of the sport. His true shooting percentage is hovering near 77%. The current all-time record for qualifying players? 74.5%. Set by a center whose diet was exclusively dunks and layups. Jokic is doing it with fadeaways, floaters, and mid-range pull-ups. And here's the stat that really breaks your brain. He's leading the league in rebounds and assists simultaneously. That has essentially never happened for a full season. Wilt led in total assists once, but Oscar Robertson still averaged more per game. Jokic is doing both, right now. But stats are one thing. Let's talk about November 13th. The Clippers had a plan. A good plan, actually. Their coach said it himself. Make him score. Take away his passing. Take everybody else out of the game. Smart. Logical. Force the guy who averages double-digit assists to beat you himself instead of dissecting your defense with passes. The numbers even backed it up. Denver's record, when Jokic scores 40-plus versus when he dishes 10-plus assists, heavily favored the passing games. So LA executed. They took away his teammates. They clogged the lanes. They dared him to shoot. He dropped 55 points on 23 shots. 91% true shooting, 18 for 23 from the field. The most productive game of his entire career, regular season or playoffs. The Clippers solved one problem. They just chose a different way to lose. And that's the nightmare. There is no right answer. Play him straight up. He scores 40 on ridiculous efficiency. Double him. He finds the open man before the trap even arrives. Try to speed him up. He doesn't speed up. Ever. Jokic plays at his pace no matter how hard you press. Get physical. He's stronger than every center in the league anyway. He'll bully you into the restricted area and finish through contact. Every solution creates a worse problem. But the scariest part isn't the scoring, it's the touch. Watch him around the rim. Floaters, push shots, half hooks off the glass, little right-handed parachutes from impossible angles. These are supposed to be low percentage shots. Difficult looks that you live with as a defense, Jokic makes them feel automatic. His hands are like magnets. Nothing gets fumbled. Nothing gets rushed. Bad passes, loose balls, awkward catches. He just absorbs everything and turns it into points. The efficiency shouldn't exist. And yet here we are, watching a 7-footer shoot better from floater range than most guards shoot from the free throw line. This isn't a hot streak. This is a complete destruction of everything we thought we understood about basketball. But here's what really keeps the league up at night. It's not the stats. It's not the efficiency. It's the fact that the one thing they were counting on, the one thing that stops every dominant big eventually, isn't coming. Jokic isn't slowing down. He's still getting better. And there's a reason for that. Most dominant stretches in NBA history have an expiration date, a weakness waiting to be exploited, a flaw that eventually gets exposed. Jokic doesn't have one, and here's why. Start with the touch. We talked about it already, but it deserves a deeper look, because this is the foundation of everything. Watch his finishing around the rim. Floaters from 8 feet, push shots off 1 foot, half hooks released at impossible angles with defenders draped all over him. These are the shots defenses want you to take. Low percentage looks that teams live with. Jokic converts them like layups. His hands never fumble. His release never rushes. Every catch, every gather, every finish, it's all smooth, controlled, deliberate. The ball just cooperates with him differently than it does with anyone else. And here's the thing about touch. You can't teach it. You can develop a jump shot. You can improve your handles. You can get stronger, faster, more explosive. But touch? That's unteachable genius. You either have it or you don't. Jokic has more of it than anyone who's ever played the position. Then there's the mind. His basketball IQ doesn't just process the game faster, it processes a different game entirely. He sees passes before the lane's open. He reads defensive rotations 2 moves ahead. He knows where the help is coming from before the help defender even decides to come. And the scariest part, he never speeds up. Ever. Pressure him. Trap him. Send bodies at him. He stays calm. Controlled. Unbothered. While everyone else plays reactionary basketball, Jokic plays predictive basketball. It's like watching someone play chess 5 moves ahead while his opponents are still figuring out checkers. Now add the system. Denver's offense isn't just built around Jokic. It's built to weaponize him. Every action flows through his reads. Cutters time their movements to his vision. Shooters space the floor, knowing the ball will find them. The Nuggets rank first in offensive rating, putting up historically elite numbers with Jokic orchestrating everything. Double him, the cutter is already gone. Sag off, he'll shoot. Switch it, he's hunting the mismatch before the switch even happens. The system multiplies his dominance and punishes every defensive choice. But here's what should truly terrify the rest of the league. Most dominant bigs decline by 29. Athleticism fades. Knees break down. The explosiveness that carried their game slowly disappears. Jokic's game has 0 athletic dependency. Touch doesn't age. IQ doesn't age. Strength and craftiness don't require a 40-inch vertical. He's playing the best basketball of his career right now, and there's no physical cliff coming. No decline waiting around the corner. He could do this for another 5 years, maybe 7, maybe longer. The NBA spent a decade waiting for his ceiling, waiting for the playoffs to expose him, waiting for athleticism to matter, waiting for something, anything, to slow him down. None of it came. None of it is coming. So where does this leave us? Where does this leave the 29 other teams trying to figure out how to stop him? This isn't Jokic chasing another MVP. This is Jokic chasing perfect basketball. The most efficient, most intelligent, most complete version of the game ever played. And right now, He might be succeeding. We're watching the greatest offensive player in NBA history, and half the world hasn't realized it yet. The NBA feared this exact scenario. A player with no weaknesses to exploit. No athletic decline to wait out. No scheme to run. That fear is now reality.